What if everything you've ever experienced, every emotion, every dream, every hope or fear, was connected to something infinitely larger than yourself? What if there was a hidden source within you, a boundless reservoir of knowledge, wisdom, and insight, that, if accessed consciously, could radically transform your life? Carl Jung didn't just imagine this possibility, he proved its existence. He called it the collective unconscious, a realm of human experience and memory shared by every person, transcending culture, time, and individuality. Jung saw it as the very foundation of who we are, woven invisibly into every human psyche. But what exactly is this collective unconscious? Imagine your mind like an iceberg. Above the water lies your conscious awareness, the part you identify with your everyday thoughts, memories, and perceptions. Beneath the surface lies the personal unconscious, the repository of your forgotten experiences, suppressed emotions, and unresolved issues. But beneath even that, far deeper, hidden beneath layers of personal experience, exists a universal psychic heritage shared by every human being who has ever lived. This is the collective unconscious. It's not simply a theory. It's a living force that influences every aspect of your life. Your choices, your relationships, your fears, your hopes, and your dreams. To Jung, the collective unconscious wasn't a mere concept. It was a powerful reality. He discovered it by analyzing the dreams, visions, and myths of thousands of people from diverse cultures and backgrounds, and noticing astonishing similarities. These common symbols and themes were not learned. They appeared spontaneously in dreams and visions of individuals who had no direct contact or shared experiences. How is this possible? Because beneath the individual psyche lies a collective psychic structure, a vast, ancient archive of symbols, archetypes, and mythological patterns that all humans access unconsciously. These universal images and themes are what Jung called archetypes. Archetypes are powerful, dynamic, living symbols. They're deeply embedded in your psyche, guiding your behaviors, shaping your emotions, influencing your choices without your conscious awareness. The hero, the mother, the shadow, the wise old man, the anima, and the animus, these archetypes aren't fictional characters. They're forces within your psyche, actively influencing your thoughts, decisions, and relationships. But why does this matter to you? Because when you remain unaware of the archetypal energies driving your life, they control you without your permission. You find yourself repeating patterns you don't understand. You sabotage relationships without knowing why. You fear or avoid things irrationally. You assume these are personal flaws or random events. But Jung's insight was revolutionary. These patterns are not random, they're archetypal. They are messages from the collective unconscious, guiding you toward deeper self-awareness, integration, and wholeness. Let's look at your dreams, for example. Have you ever wondered why certain dreams recur again and again? Why certain symbols, water, animals, shadowy figures, appear repeatedly, even in people who've never encountered each other? It's because your dreams speak the language of the collective unconscious. They reveal universal archetypes seeking expression in your life, delivering powerful messages to your conscious mind. Consider dreams of falling. According to Jung, these dreams aren't random fears. They symbolize losing control, confronting something unconscious, or diving deeper into your own psyche to uncover hidden truths. Or dreams of being chased. They're not just anxiety dreams. They represent avoiding or running from unresolved aspects of yourself, your shadow. But if you learn to decode these symbols, you unlock immense psychological insight, clarity, and power. Your unconscious isn't trying to frighten you. It's trying to awaken you. Your dreams aren't meaningless. They're deeply symbolic, archetypal messages guiding your journey toward integration and individuation. But the collective unconscious doesn't just speak through dreams. It speaks through synchronicities, those strange, meaningful coincidences you can't rationally explain. Have you ever experienced thinking of someone seconds before they called? Have you ever stumbled upon exactly what you needed precisely when you needed it? These aren't just luck or coincidences. Jung believed synchronicities were manifestations of the collective unconscious, showing your mind and the external world are deeply connected. Synchronicities bridge your inner and outer reality, proving you're connected to something far larger than your individual ego. They guide you toward deeper truth, alignment, and wholeness if you learn to trust them. So here's the profound realization Jung offers you right now. Your life isn't random. Your struggles aren't meaningless. Your relationships aren't accidental. Every challenge, every dream, every synchronicity is guiding you toward deeper self-understanding and wholeness, toward the realization of your truest, most authentic self. But you must first understand the archetypes influencing your life. Consider the shadow, the archetype representing everything within you that you repress, deny, or hide from yourself. Everyone has a shadow. Ignoring it doesn't make it vanish. It projects outward onto others, causing misunderstandings, conflicts, or self-destructive behaviors. But if you consciously integrate your shadow, you reclaim lost energy, clarity, and power. Your relationships improve, your mind clears, your life gains meaning. Or consider the anima and animus, archetypes representing the feminine and masculine energies within each person. Integrating these energies balances your psyche, bringing emotional depth, creativity, intuition, and wisdom. These archetypes aren't abstract, they're deeply personal. They directly influence your relationships, your emotional health, your sense of purpose and direction. And Jung believed the ultimate goal of life was individuation. Integrating these archetypes, harmonizing your conscious and unconscious minds, and becoming fully yourself. This journey isn't easy, but it's profoundly meaningful. Because when you begin consciously interacting with your collective unconscious, decoding your dreams, trusting synchronicities, integrating your shadow, you unlock immense psychological and spiritual power. You stop feeling victimized by circumstance. You stop blaming others for your emotional triggers. You become the conscious author of your own life story. You discover inner peace, emotional resilience, clarity of purpose, and spiritual depth. But before you fully understand how to practically achieve individuation, before you integrate the powerful archetypes and symbols within you, you must first understand why your personal individuation matters far beyond your individual life. Your journey isn't just personal, it's archetypal. It's symbolic. It's deeply connected to humanity's collective journey, because the collective unconscious isn't just about individual growth. It's about humanity's evolution. It's about transforming society by transforming yourself. And this is Carl Jung's most powerful insight. Your individuation doesn't just heal you, it heals humanity itself. You're not just living your own story, you're living humanity's collective story. Your journey matters far more than you realize. And as you continue this exploration, you'll begin to see exactly how deeply your personal awakening affects the world around you. Because you're not separate, you're connected. And now, the journey of unlocking your own collective unconscious begins. As you begin this exploration into the collective unconscious, one thing becomes immediately clear. Your personal journey towards self-awareness isn't isolated. It's deeply intertwined with humanity's shared journey, our collective destiny. Carl Jung didn't just discover that we share common psychological ground. He revealed that our inner lives are profoundly interconnected with the lives of everyone around us, stretching back into the depths of human history itself. Every emotion you feel, every choice you make, every relationship you enter, these aren't simply personal acts. They're expressions of archetypal patterns deeply embedded within your psyche, resonating across time and culture. Let's dive deeper. Think about your deepest desires, your yearning for purpose, meaning, and connection. These longings aren't unique to you alone. They reflect the archetypal patterns that have motivated humanity for thousands of years. Consider the archetype of the hero. Throughout every culture and every era, we see the same story repeated. An individual feels called to leave behind the comfort and safety of their known world, to venture into the unknown, face trials, battle monsters, literal or symbolic, and return home transformed. This isn't coincidence or simple storytelling. It's an archetypal blueprint deeply embedded within every human psyche, including yours. When you feel compelled to take risks, pursue dreams, or confront fears, it's not random impulse. It's your inner hero calling you toward your own psychological growth and individuation. Your challenges, setbacks, and even failures aren't accidental. They're symbolic trials, archetypal tests designed by your collective unconscious to help you uncover hidden inner strength and wisdom. If you ignore these archetypal messages, you risk repeating the same patterns, trapped unconsciously in cycles of frustration or self-sabotage. But when you recognize the hero archetype active within you, your life takes on new meaning and clarity. You understand that your struggles aren't punishment, they're preparation. their initiation, their invitations into deeper self-knowledge and inner power. Another powerful archetype is the shadow, perhaps the most misunderstood but transformative aspect of Jung's psychology. Your shadow isn't evil. It's simply unconscious. It holds everything you reject, deny, or suppress, your fears, guilt, shame, and unresolved emotional pain. But here's the secret Jung revealed. The shadow, when ignored, doesn't disappear. It manifests in destructive ways. It projects onto others. It sabotages relationships. It feeds addictions, self-destructive patterns, and repetitive cycles of emotional pain. Yet when you consciously integrate your shadow, when you courageously confront your darkest fears, suppressed emotions, and rejected aspects of yourself, you reclaim immense energy, clarity, and authentic power. Suddenly, relationships become clearer and healthier. Your fears diminish. You stop blaming external circumstances for your emotional state because you now understand the root of your patterns. The shadow holds the key to your deepest healing, but only if you approach it consciously and courageously. And just as your personal shadow can influence your individual life, humanity has a collective shadow that shapes entire cultures, societies, and historical eras. Think about the wars, conflicts, and atrocities throughout history. These aren't just random events. They're collective manifestations of humanity's unacknowledged, unintegrated shadow. When societies deny their collective shadow, refusing to confront their prejudice, cruelty, greed, or fear, these unconscious energies erupt violently into conflict, oppression, and suffering. But when humanity consciously integrates these energies, society can transform profoundly, experiencing collective compassion, understanding, and peace. This collective shadow isn't external, it's internal. It exists within every individual psyche, including yours. When you commit to integrating your personal shadow, you directly contribute to healing humanity's collective shadow. Your personal growth isn't selfish, it's essential for humanity's collective evolution. But shadow integration isn't easy. It requires courage, self-honesty, and deep introspection. You must ask yourself difficult questions. What am I avoiding? What am I suppressing? Who or what triggers strong reactions within me? These questions guide you to your hidden shadow aspects, empowering you to reclaim unconscious energies previously trapped in denial or suppression. Then there are the archetypes Jung called the anima and animus. These represent the unconscious feminine and masculine energies within each person, regardless of gender. Everyone carries these energies, and they deeply influence your emotions, relationships, and psychological balance. When your anima or animus is unconscious or suppressed, you experience imbalance, such as difficulty in relationships, emotional confusion, or disconnection from your intuitive wisdom. But integrating these archetypes creates inner harmony and profound psychological wholeness. For example, if you struggle with emotional vulnerability or connecting deeply in relationships, this might indicate an unintegrated anima or animus. By consciously exploring these energies within yourself, through dream work, active imagination, and reflection, you can restore psychological balance and create deeply fulfilling relationships based on authenticity and emotional depth. Your relationships aren't random. They're archetypal encounters guiding your psychological and spiritual growth. Every challenge, every misunderstanding, every attraction is symbolic, guiding you toward deeper self-integration and inner harmony. This realization completely transforms relationships from superficial dramas into powerful vehicles of self-discovery and growth. Finally, consider the phenomenon Jung called synchronicity, meaningful coincidences linking your inner state with external reality. Have you experienced synchronicities, like thinking of someone moments before they call, or encountering symbolic messages precisely when you need guidance? These events aren't mere chance. They're direct manifestations of the collective unconscious. They're symbolic messages from your unconscious mind, guiding you toward deeper psychological clarity and spiritual alignment. When you pay attention to synchronicities, you align with your unconscious guidance system, creating deeper clarity, purpose, and meaning in your life. Jung himself experienced powerful synchronicities throughout his life, convincing him of the reality and power of the collective unconscious. These synchronicities aren't magical, they're psychological and spiritual. They demonstrate how deeply your internal reality influences external circumstances, guiding you toward profound alignment and individuation. And this brings us to the critical insight Jung offered humanity. Your life is deeply symbolic. Every relationship, event, dream, or synchronicity carries archetypal significance, guiding you toward your true self. Your psyche isn't isolated. It's interconnected with humanity's collective wisdom, memory, and spiritual guidance encoded in the collective unconscious. But you must consciously engage these archetypal messages to unlock their transformative potential. Otherwise, you remain trapped unconsciously, repeating patterns you don't understand, feeling victimized by circumstances, relationships, or external events. When you consciously explore your collective unconscious, integrating your shadow, balancing your anima and animus, honoring your archetypal hero journey, decoding dreams and synchronicities, you reclaim your psychic autonomy and inner sovereignty. Your life transforms from random chaos into a meaningful journey toward wholeness, authenticity, and profound spiritual fulfillment. But before you fully grasp how to practically integrate these insights into your daily life, there's another critical dimension you must understand. To fully unlock the power of your collective unconscious, you must see its profound influence on your emotional resilience, your creativity, your spiritual development, and your ultimate capacity for deep inner peace. Your individuation isn't just psychological, it's profoundly spiritual. By now, it's becoming clear that the collective unconscious isn't merely an intellectual curiosity, it's a deeply transformative force. But there's an even more profound layer to explore: the impact this powerful unconscious realm has on your emotional resilience, your creativity, your spiritual growth, and your ultimate inner peace. Carl Jung recognized that beneath every human experience, every emotion, every conflict, every longing, lies a spiritual dimension. Not religious dogma, but a profound, archetypal spirituality woven into the very fabric of your psyche. To truly unlock the power of the collective unconscious, you must see how it shapes your inner emotional and spiritual world, profoundly influencing your creativity and resilience. Consider your emotional resilience first. Why do some people remain centered in adversity, while others crumble? Why do some find meaning even in painful circumstances, while others become bitter? According to Jung, the difference lies in their relationship with their own unconscious. When you become conscious of the archetypal forces influencing your life, you gain profound emotional resilience. Your emotions no longer feel chaotic or random. They become meaningful archetypal messages guiding your deeper understanding and growth. For instance, grief isn't merely sorrow. It's an invitation from your unconscious to explore deeper truths about attachment, impermanence, and love. Anxiety isn't just fear. It's a symbolic message urging you to confront something unresolved within your psyche. When you decode these archetypal messages, you no longer feel victimized by your emotions. You understand their meaningful, symbolic guides toward deeper integration and wholeness. Suddenly, your emotional landscape becomes navigable. You cultivate deeper compassion for yourself and others. You stop resisting difficult emotions. Instead, you embrace them, knowing they hold transformative archetypal wisdom. This is true emotional resilience, not avoiding difficult emotions, but consciously engaging them, integrating their archetypal lessons, and emerging stronger, clearer, and wiser. Now consider your creativity. Jung revealed that creativity isn't merely artistic, it's archetypal. Creative inspiration arises from the collective unconscious, expressing universal symbols, myths, and archetypal patterns. Every truly inspired idea, artwork, or insight originates from the deep unconscious. Artists, writers, musicians, innovators, they tap into collective psychic currents, translating universal archetypal wisdom into creative expression. You felt this yourself, in sudden inspirations, intuitive insights, or creative visions emerging seemingly from nowhere. These moments aren't random, they're direct communications from your collective unconscious, guiding your creativity toward deeper truth, beauty, and meaning. But to unlock your creative potential fully, you must consciously cultivate a relationship with your unconscious. You must trust your intuition, honor your inspirations, and explore symbols and dreams. Jung himself practiced this creative engagement through a powerful technique he called active imagination. Active imagination involves consciously engaging your unconscious mind through visualization, meditation, or creative expression. You enter into dialogue with your inner archetypes, your shadow, your anima, your hero, allowing them to speak through symbols, visions, or intuitive insights. This practice directly unlocks your deepest creativity, connecting you with humanity's shared archetypal wisdom encoded within your psyche. Your creativity isn't simply personal, it's collective. When you honor archetypal creativity, you express timeless truths, resonating universally with others. Your creations become archetypal guides, inspiring deeper self-awareness and collective awakening. Next, consider the profound spiritual dimension within your collective unconscious. Jung saw spirituality not as institutional belief, but as deep psychological truth, a direct experience of archetypal meaning, interconnectedness, and wholeness. Within your unconscious lies humanity's shared spiritual wisdom, encoded in universal symbols, myths, and archetypes. When you consciously engage your collective unconscious through dreams, synchronicities, and archetypal reflection, you unlock this timeless spiritual wisdom. You experience what Jung called numinous experiences, moments of profound awe, wonder, and spiritual connection. In these moments, ordinary reality dissolves, revealing profound interconnectedness, beauty, and sacredness beneath life's surface. You realize your consciousness isn't isolated, it's interconnected with all humanity. Your individual psyche participates directly in humanity's shared spiritual evolution. This spiritual realization transforms your perception of life's meaning profoundly. Suddenly, your life isn't meaningless chaos. It's deeply symbolic and spiritually significant. Every choice, every relationship, every suffering carries archetypal meaning, guiding your spiritual awakening and deeper wholeness. But perhaps most profoundly, conscious engagement with your collective unconscious unlocks a profound sense of inner peace. Inner peace isn't merely absence of conflict. It's psychological and spiritual harmony. It arises when your conscious and unconscious minds align, integrating your shadow, balancing your archetypes, and harmonizing your inner masculine and feminine. This harmony brings profound psychological and spiritual wholeness. You experience a deep inner calm, even amidst external chaos or uncertainty. Because your unconscious wisdom guides you clearly, your fears diminish. You trust your intuition implicitly, knowing it draws from humanity's deepest wisdom encoded in your collective unconscious. Your life gains clarity, purpose, and profound meaning. You stop feeling fragmented, confused, or isolated. You feel interconnected, aligned, spiritually guided. This inner peace is perhaps the greatest gift of conscious engagement with your collective unconscious. It transforms your perception of life profoundly, from chaotic struggle into sacred journey. From meaningless suffering into archetypal initiation, from superficial experiences into deep spiritual lessons guiding your soul's evolution. Your individuation journey isn't merely psychological, it's profoundly spiritual. It connects your personal growth directly with humanity's collective awakening. Your conscious integration of the collective unconscious, embracing your shadow, decoding your dreams, honoring archetypal wisdom, doesn't just transform you personally. It contributes directly to humanity's collective spiritual evolution. Your personal individuation isn't separate from humanity's destiny, it's essential to it. Jung saw this clearly. He believed humanity's survival depended on enough individuals consciously integrating their collective unconscious, healing collective shadows, embodying archetypal wisdom, and guiding humanity toward deeper consciousness and compassion. You hold this immense potential within yourself. Your personal inner work isn't selfish, it's sacred. It directly contributes to humanity's collective awakening. This insight transforms your personal struggles profoundly. They're no longer isolated personal pain. They're archetypal initiations, guiding humanity's shared psychological and spiritual evolution. Your shadow work, your emotional resilience, your creativity, your spiritual insights, these aren't isolated experiences. They're collective spiritual contributions. Your journey matters profoundly, not just to you personally, but to humanity itself. And this understanding transforms your inner struggles profoundly, from meaningless pain into sacred spiritual initiation. You're not alone in this journey. You're deeply interconnected. Your collective unconscious is humanity's deepest wisdom, memory, and spiritual guidance, patiently waiting to guide you toward profound integration and wholeness. But before you fully grasp how to practically integrate these insights into daily life, there's one final dimension to explore. To fully unlock your collective unconscious, you must understand its direct practical impact on your day-to-day decisions, your clarity of purpose, your emotional health, and your ultimate capacity for deep inner fulfillment. Your individuation isn't just theoretical, it's profoundly practical. And this practical dimension is the final key to unlocking your full potential. Now that you've explored the profound emotional, spiritual, and creative dimensions of the collective unconscious, there's one final step to unlocking its full power. Applying these insights practically, every single day. Because Jung didn't just propose a theoretical model, he provided a living blueprint for conscious living. A method to decode the symbolic language of your unconscious mind, enabling you to make powerful, aligned choices every day of your life. Imagine waking each morning with crystal clear clarity, not because you know exactly what will happen, but because you trust deeply that every experience, every challenge, every relationship is guiding you toward your highest potential. This isn't wishful thinking. It's achievable through practical engagement with your collective unconscious. First, consider your daily decisions. Every choice you face isn't isolated or random. It's archetypal. Each decision contains symbolic significance, aligning you either closer or further from your true self. When you consciously engage your collective unconscious, your decisions gain profound clarity. You understand your choices symbolically, archetypally, recognizing the deeper unconscious forces influencing you. For example, suppose you're considering leaving a job or relationship. Consciously engaging your unconscious might involve reflecting on archetypal messages within your dreams or intuitions. Perhaps you dream repeatedly of journeys or crossings, symbolizing transformation and change. Or you notice synchronicities pointing you toward new opportunities or connections. These aren't coincidences, they're archetypal guidance from your collective unconscious, nudging you toward deeper alignment and fulfillment. Suddenly, decisions become clearer. You understand them not just rationally, but symbolically. You trust your intuition implicitly, knowing it draws from humanity's collective psychic wisdom. This transforms your daily choices profoundly. You stop feeling indecisive, overwhelmed, or confused. You gain clarity, confidence, and trust, knowing each decision is guided archetypally toward your deeper wholeness and purpose. Next, consider your daily relationships. Every interaction, positive or negative, contains archetypal messages, guiding your individuation. Conflict isn't random, it's symbolic. It reveals unresolved shadow issues, hidden emotional wounds, or unintegrated archetypal energies seeking conscious integration. When conflicts arise, consciously engage your unconscious by asking, what archetypal pattern is active here? What am I projecting unconsciously onto this person? What deeper lesson or symbolic message does this interaction contain? This shifts conflicts from painful dramas into powerful vehicles for self-understanding. You stop feeling victimized. You recognize each interaction as symbolic guidance toward emotional maturity and psychological integration. Your relationships become conscious mirrors, revealing hidden aspects of yourself. You gain compassion, clarity, and emotional resilience, transforming daily interactions profoundly. Then consider your emotional health. When you consciously engage your unconscious, emotions stop feeling chaotic or overwhelming. They become symbolic messages, guiding your psychological growth. Anxiety isn't simply fear, it's symbolic, urging deeper self-understanding. Depression isn't just sadness, it's an archetypal invitation toward deeper introspection, emotional honesty, and integration. By consciously reflecting on emotions archetypally, asking what symbolic messages they're communicating, you gain profound emotional resilience. You stop suppressing or avoiding difficult emotions. Instead, you consciously engage them, integrating their symbolic lessons. This cultivates profound emotional clarity, stability, and peace. Your emotional health transforms profoundly. You stop feeling emotionally overwhelmed. You experience deep emotional intelligence, clarity, and compassion for yourself and others. Consider your creative potential. Every creative block or inspiration contains archetypal meaning. Blocks symbolize unconscious energies seeking expression or integration. Inspirations symbolize direct archetypal communications from your collective unconscious. When creatively blocked, consciously engage your unconscious through active imagination, dream reflection, or symbolic exploration. This unlocks hidden creative potential, restoring creative flow, inspiration, and profound artistic authenticity. You stop feeling creatively stagnant. You experience deep, authentic creativity aligned archetypally with humanity's collective wisdom. Finally, consider your ultimate life purpose and fulfillment. Your collective unconscious constantly guides you archetypally toward your true purpose, your authentic self. Dreams, synchronicities, relationships, emotions, all contain symbolic guidance, aligning you with your deepest fulfillment. When you consciously engage these archetypal messages daily, decoding dreams, reflecting on symbols, honoring intuitions, you align profoundly with your ultimate purpose. You stop feeling purposeless or unfulfilled. Your life becomes deeply meaningful, guided symbolically toward profound psychological, emotional, and spiritual fulfillment. But practically, how do you achieve this conscious engagement daily? Jung provided practical techniques to integrate unconscious wisdom. 1. Dream journaling. Keep a journal beside your bed. Record dreams immediately upon waking, reflecting on symbols and archetypal themes. Dreams provide direct communication from your collective unconscious, guiding decisions, relationships, and emotional growth daily. 2. Active imagination. Set aside regular quiet moments for visualization or meditation, consciously engaging archetypal figures, your shadow, hero, anima/animus. Allow them to communicate symbolically through images, intuitions, or inner dialogues, providing profound unconscious guidance. 3. Reflecting on synchronicities. Pay attention daily to meaningful coincidences. Reflect on their symbolic messages, trusting they represent direct, unconscious guidance, aligning you profoundly with your deeper purpose and potential. 4. Shadow integration. Notice emotional triggers daily, moments of strong irrational reactions. Consciously reflect on these triggers archetypally, identifying unresolved shadow issues seeking integration. Journal reflections, consciously integrating your shadow daily for profound emotional resilience. 5. Archetypal reflection. Regularly reflect consciously on archetypal patterns active in your life. Which archetypes, hero, shadow, anima/animus, currently guide you? Which symbols or archetypes appear repeatedly in your dreams, intuitions, or synchronicities? Conscious reflection aligns you profoundly with your collective unconscious, transforming your daily choices and interactions. These techniques aren't merely psychological exercises, they're transformative spiritual practices, aligning you profoundly with humanity's deepest collective wisdom encoded within your unconscious. Practice consistently, they transform daily life profoundly. Your daily experiences become deeply symbolic, meaningful, and spiritually aligned. You no longer feel overwhelmed, purposeless, or disconnected. You experience profound clarity, emotional resilience, creative authenticity, and spiritual depth daily. Your individuation journey isn't theoretical, it's practical. It transforms your daily life profoundly. Your choices, relationships, emotional health, creativity, and fulfillment. And as you consciously engage your collective unconscious daily, integrating archetypal wisdom, emotional clarity, and spiritual depth, you unlock immense transformative power within yourself. Your life transforms from random chaos into symbolic sacred journey, from superficial experience into deep spiritual initiation, guiding your soul's profound evolution. You stop feeling victimized by circumstances or relationships. You reclaim your inner sovereignty, psychic autonomy, and profound psychological clarity. You become the conscious author of your own symbolic life story, guided profoundly each moment by your collective unconscious. Your personal transformation profoundly contributes directly to humanity's collective awakening. Your inner work isn't selfish, it's profoundly sacred, contributing directly to humanity's collective spiritual evolution. You aren't isolated, you're profoundly interconnected. Your collective unconscious is humanity's deepest shared wisdom, memory, and spiritual guidance, waiting patiently to awaken your full potential. Your individuation journey transforms your daily life profoundly, unlocking your immense psychological, emotional, creative, and spiritual power. Now you have the conscious tools and profound insights to practically unlock your collective unconscious daily. Your transformative journey begins here now. Embrace it courageously, because this profound journey of conscious individuation isn't merely theoretical. It's practical, profoundly transformative, and ultimately deeply fulfilling. Your life is about to transform profoundly, and it begins now. Subscribe to the Awakened Compass and join our membership to unlock the full journey within.